know that we have dramatic high arts on the verge. It's right here. And then we have in this room, art web by okay, so yeah, that would be right here in the visitor room. All right.
This is a collaboration between Artists Inc. 5212 to tell the stories of the east side of Salinas. How many of y'all know what happened in June 11th, 1963?
You got passed that Alisal got annexed.
Got passed that Alisal would be annexed to the city of Salinas. Alright? The east side is 55 years old on June 11th. Alright, so I know that there's big celebrations planned, right? A big parade, right? East side, right? Nobody invited me? First you heard of it? Oh my goodness. Well, and you live there, look at that, right? So, well, we're learning something. And that's the point and purpose of this project. Back in 2011, we were able to do our first play, ReAlisal, Your Neighbor's Story. And then in 2014, we went out and we did ReAlisal Stories at Costa Plaza. Costa Plaza, if you know Costa Plaza, the Laurel Townhouses, sits where the Sanborn House, the Sanborns, as in Sanborn Road, were a couple that owned a lot of land. And they have this beautiful home, which still stands today, but it's not as obviously as used, right? My point is that there's so much history to that side of town, and this opportunity right here, what we're about to see, is these young people share these stories. It's a little bit of a mashup, a mix between those two plays, and this is as we know, like as I said, 55 years old. We felt an obligation to commemorate that and share it with you, the audience. This is our first time doing it for an audience in this form. We will be doing it again next Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Alisal Center for the Fine Arts. So, anything we want to?
Just a small little side note. All of the fabulous youth artists that you see up here, right in the middle, they are all Alisal High School students. So can we give them a round of applause?
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
They're awesome. And then we have our creative leaders and artists here at the very end. So go ahead, guys, stand up. That's all. Thank you guys so much.
All right. So again, this is a reading. Okay. There's going to be some parts where you're going to hear some descriptions, some scenes that are described. We'd love for your feedback. So please stick around after they finish the reading. About how long is the reading? About an hour 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going straight through, no intermissions. Okay, so if you have to use the restroom, there's one right over there. All right, conveniently located right there. And I guess there's some emergency exits where Carlos Cortez, quien sabe, is right over here standing. And I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. Actors, you ready?
Yeah!
Audience, you ready? Yeah! ReAlisal, stories from the East Side of Salinas.
ReAlisal, stories from East Salinas by Luis Xago Juarez. Act 1, Scene 1. Every time they speak
Of these east side streets, there's always something that just messes with me.
In the morning, afternoon,
And on the evening news, round the clock report.
of how the violence rules.
Blah, blah, blah.
Shots fired on Market Street.
311 in progress on Del Monte.
Fatally wounded.
From my old school.
they want more cops on the street.
Well, what about a clue? Headlines.
Rumors.
Got them all confused.
Their headlines.
And stories.
Ain't always that cool. Second class citizens.
Middle West immigrants.
Just a
and,
slave wager.
and at the end of the season it's
Hasta later.
So distracted to believe.
That media. Smack.
to our face
In our
and
ear.
behind our back.
Redneck,
Gangster.
Okie,
Illegal.
trailer trash,
Paisa,
Separate
but equal. The East Side's got stories.
About the Alisal people.
Overtime workers,
and son patroncitos.
That's right. Because it ain't always about las drogas.
and it's not about the
It's
fuertes.
about your vecino next door.
From the Alisal,
East Salinas.
Presente.
Act 1, Scene 2. Check it out.
So we got these stories.
From where?
From here.
The neighborhood.
And
And we're gonna tell them.
good, porque ya me pegó las ganas de tell some stories.
From our side of town.
Cool. Let's start with this place right here. You know what this place used to be?
A boxing ring.
Before that.
Red box.
The bread box used to be a bread box?
Simone, you can still smell that Lagendorf bread, bro.
I smoke carnitas. Oh, and remember how they used to talk about there being a drive-in movie theater down the block?
No.
Well, there was.
How do you know?
No, he's right. My tios would always talk about going to the Scabby.
And what would they see?
Movies, what else?
What kind of movies?
Movies. Comedy, drama, action, scary old horror flicks.
There even used to be a pulga there.
There's movies everywhere.
But this one was big, every weekend. Serio, all kinds of people would hit it up.
Oh, and you know that? The old two-story house in Old Costa Plaza behind the gate?
What about it?
You ever wondered about the history of that place? Yeah, that big old Casablanca.
That Casablanca was a Sanborn house.
The Sandworms? Like as in Sandworm Road?
They owned all kinds of land.
And they lived in that house? Specially designed.
Act 1, Scene 3A. Period music circa early 1900s. Lights up on a contractor handing over the keys to Mr. and Mrs. Sanborn.
Here you go, Mr. and Mrs. Sanborn. She's all yours.
The contractor shakes their hands and exits. Mr. and Mrs. Sanborn step up into their home.
After you, darling.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Custom made.
Custom made indeed.
I guess you're right.
With an indoor swimming pool and our own little water tower.
Overlooking the lake.
God's country.
Lights out on the Sandworms.
Act 1, Scene 3B. I don't believe you. Don't.
Swear?
Why would I make this up?
Well then, whatever happened to the Sandworms?
I guess they bounced, but then this other family took over on it.
What other family?
The Carlins. The Carlins, yeah, they make like fire extinguishers.
And the rest of the land?
Sold to the Alisal Union School District and built Sanborn Elementary School,
Where?
where Jesse G. Sanchez School stands now. Act 1, Scene 4. Sound on the sunny side of the street. Photo of Sanborn Elementary School. Hi, Larry.
Mary Lou? Mary Van? Now, children, don't run. You know the rules.
Afternoon, Miss B.
Why, good afternoon, Miss Hosford. How are you doing?
Just fine, Miss B. Here to pick up the girls. I see you got Larry handling the cross guard duties.
And doing just a fine dandy job at that. Say, are you planning to make this month's PTA?
Wouldn't miss it for the world. In fact, we're all ready for our annual bake sale.
Well, that's good news, Miss Hosford. I'm so happy to hear that.
I'm making my first place pies this year.
You don't say. Can you save me a slice of that lemon meringue pie?
Way ahead of you. Already got it on reserve.
Oh, you're such a dear. I tell you, there's nothing I look forward to more than a slice of that lemon meringue pie.
You and the rest of the house.
They both laugh and exit out with Mary Lou and Mary Beth. Enter Bixby. Act 1, Scene 5.
Hey there, Lar.
How's it going, Bixby?
What do you say we go down by the creek to catch ourselves some crawdads?
Sounds good. Catch what?
Crawdads, eh? Crawfish.
Where?
in the creek behind the Costa Plaza.
They got him from the creek?
I see one.
It's coming my way.
Get him! He goes for the attack, but sees he's missed the crawdad.
Oh, missed him.
There he goes. They both attack the crawdad, and one of them slips and falls way into the creek, trying to get up as fast enough as to avoiding getting wet, but he actually did. They laugh hysterically.
Gotcha!
Celebrating their catch, they immediately fire up a grill right where they're at.
What are they doing?
They're setting up a little barbacoa, dude.
Oh, okay, so like instead of carne asada,
Crawdad
asada!
That there looks about right.
Whoa! A little lemon.
And a little tobacco.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get some more.
Let's go.
Act 1, Scene 6.
That's gross.
How do you know they're gross? Y'all never had any.
Well, look where they got him from.
The creek's polluted with all kinds of microbials.
Yeah, but back in that day, that creek was a natural food source.
Whatever.
Hey, and who was the one who told you all these stories?
My uncle knew the guy who used to go down and fish for crawdads in that creek way back when.
Who's that?
Act 1, Scene 7.
Larry Hosford. Homeboy gotta play with George Harrison.
George Harrison? The Beatle George Harrison?
Yeah,
And he lived where?
on Orchard.
Orchard? How long did he live there?
Till the day he died.
Oh, check this out. Found that interview they did of him a while back.
Lights up on Larry Osborne.
When did you start playing, Mr. Hosford? I was playing from young, but it wasn't until my mid-60s when I started hanging out with the E-types, the English types. As in the Beatles and the Rolling Stones kind of English type of influence? Simone. Orale. Let's take a walk. Where are we going? A little stroll, to get to know the neighborhood. Oh, I already know the east side. Yeah, but do you know the Alisal? Well, I guess not. Come on, see over here, notice the size of these houses? Yep, typical old style east side homes, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. Notice the size of the lots they're sitting on? Oh yeah, they're huge. A lot of families ended up adding on to those small homes. They're standard New Deal homes, thanks to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. New Deal? Like the street New Deal? Exactly, it's what we lived in, still do. See that Quonset hut right over there? A what? A Quonset hut. Homes made of aluminum, usually made for the military. Those? Kinda looks like an igloo. First time I made out with the girl right there, played spin the bottle with Yolanda Castillo. Oh yeah? Was she hot? What do you think, boy? Okay, right around here on Williams and Del Monte, I remember my dad caught sight of some cattle rustlers over the Barton property. Cattle rustlers? Like carjackers trying to steal cattle? Yeah, so I guess you could call them cowjackers.
Look here. Quite a beauty.
Moo! Moo! Moo!
Come on now, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna chop you up and sell you for steaks and short ribs.
Moo!
Labor Day for you, Bubba.
Moo!
You seen nothing, Hosford.
Larry pulls his hunting rifle, cocks it, and shoots it at the rustler's feet. Bang!
Oh, Jesus, cute Christ. All right. Don't see what all the fuss is. Barton ain't gonna miss this one little cow.
Maybe not. But you pay for the bait like everybody else.
Interviewer converts back to human.
Whoa, that was trippy. So, the cows made it all the way up to Williams and Del Monte? Yup, and Jim Martin came all the way down from the hills, up past Old Stage Road, and rewarded my father with a bottle of whiskey. Your old man got down like that? We all did, son. See the Santa Lucia over here? You mean Cesar Chavez? Yeah, that too. There was a barn that was built back in the late 40s, used for all kinds of different things, like a church, a roller rink, and pretty much a community center. It was also a stop for some of the biggest names in country music. No, Like who? Like Loretta Lynn? Oh, I know her. Oh yeah, and what about this guy over here?
Johnny Cash enters.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash?
Yes, sir.
Off the line, Johnny Cash?
That's right.
Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash?
That's what I said.
Folsom Prison Blues, Johnny Cash?
The one and only. Check it out. Oh, you stick it out. You settle down, will ya? I'm trying to play.
Well, so am I, Johnny.
All right, now don't get carried away. This has got to be the most craziest place I've ever played.
So were you at that show?
I wish. This was 1956. Just a little too young to participate in that kind of activity. But I'll tell you right now, I eventually became that kind of activity.
Right on.
Larry starts strumming his song, Salinas.
Now, okay, and Mexicans are loud and proud. Of course you're bound to see some fights.
Alisal's own our heart's control.
Yeah, when he started claiming their rights.
Well, back in Salinas, that's just where I'm from. I guess I'm an OP.
Or
Act 1, Scene 8. Transitions into Quality Market. Video of old photos of Quality Market back in the day, now Calabria, Italy, to Salinas, California. Fishermen that came from the old country to Monterey, Feliz Street.
Oh, what a beautiful home. What street is it on? Excuse me, sir, but I'm interested in this home.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Are you looking to purchase?
Yes.
Well, we can make a great deal on this home for you if you want.
Okay.
Well, what's your name?
Felice. Pasquale Felice.
Pasquale Felice, eh?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Felice, according to this, it looks like you qualify.
I do?
Yes, sir. Would you like to go ahead and move forward?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, we'll have to get some initial authorization from you. Sign here. And here.
Okay.
And here.
Okay.
And here. And here.
Okay.
And here.
Okay.
And here.
Okay.
Congratulations! You're on the way to becoming a fine homeowner, Mr. Felice.
This is so wonderful. My wife will be so happy.
Well, we're glad we can help.
Hey, one thing, my friend.
Yes, Mr. Felice.
What is the name of the street?
This one? Well, that's a good question. How about Felice Street, huh? How does that sound to you? You like that?
Very much, my friend. Very much. Thank you.
Old Quality Market, 1947. Enter an Okie customer making his way into the store, circa late 40s.
Ooh, what do y'all got cooking up in here?
It's special homemade sauce.
Well, hot diggity dog, I bet you're fixing some of that.
Tenemos un poco de carne fresca.
Oh, esta es la Petit Moon.
Hey, wait a minute. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Grandfather Felice and Mr. Felice stop and direct their attention to the customer.
I'm sorry, was I interrupting something?
Grandfather Felice and Mr. Felice look at each other and then back to the customer and nod no slowly.
Good, because for a minute there, I thought I was in Italy. Speak English, Buzz. You're in America. Capiche?
Grandfather Felice and Mr. Felice look at each other and then back to the customer and say,
Okay.
Okie customer exits out.
¿Qué tiene? ¿Qué los problemas hoy?
Don't fresca with you, no lupo.
Grandfather exits opposite direction while present-day cliente enters. Mike takes present-day food.
Hola, buenos días, Mike. ¿Cómo está usted?
Bien, ¿y usted, señor?
Pues se la llevo, Mike. ¿Qué más cuento, La vida es para los que trabajan, ¿verdad?
Cliente gets his change back from Mike.
Yeah, Simón. Yo creo.
Ay, que Mike, aprenda a hablar español bien. ¿Qué no ves dónde estás? Estás en la pista, ¿qué no entiendes?
Oh, sí, yo entiendo.
Gracias, Mike.
¿A usted?
Act 1, Scene 9. La Soya Sisters.
Are you guys ready?
Yes!
Oh, great, because you're here.
Who's here?
The interviewers.
They all take a collective look out to the audience. The audience are the interviewers.
Hi! Welcome, welcome. Please have a seat.
It's nice to have you over. Make yourselves at home.
We do this all the time.
What? Talk and eat?
So where should we start?
Capnicolum! Which is now called San Gerardo.
It was housing for low-income folks.
Farm workers.
Our dad used to work for the ranchers.
He supported my mom.
7 sisters.
And 2 brothers.
We'd walk almost a mile to the bus stop.
And that bus would take us to.
Alisal Elementary School.
Virginia Rocco Barton was our principal.
We couldn't speak Spanish in the schools in those days.
They would reprimand us on the bus and at school.
But that didn't stop us from participating in stuff.
Like sports.
I was good.
We were good.
These were the late 40s.
Right after the war.
The good old days.
I remember times when I felt embarrassed because in those days, people wouldn't eat burritos.
Still, that's what my mom would pack us for lunch.
Remember when Ernie introduced a burrito to his classmates?
That's our younger brother.
They had never seen a burrito before in their lives.
50 schoolyard.
What are you eating? Burrito. What's in it?
Stuff. Want some?
They move closer to the burrito, sniff it, they take a bite, making their eyes pop from the deliciousness of the experience.
Ernie eventually stopped trading his burritos and started selling them. My mom would take his orders in the morning before school.
La mamá empieza a arreglar los burritos.
A ver, Ernie, ¿cuántos burritos vas a querer, mijo?
And he would go 6.
8.
I mean 8.
Ernie's setting up shop at school.
Burritos, come and get them!
Kids rush to him.
And he made a little money on the side.
Fresh off the command, people, limited supply, act now! I'll take 2!
These burritos are super!
Is this gonna make me speak Spanish? Well, do you know what they're called? Burritos! Voila!
We were poor, but we didn't know it.
Until we were reminded.
Like, whenever somebody in my class got some new clothing to wear, that was hard for me.
Okay, class, settle down now. Look, boys and girls, Jill's got a new sweater. Okay, Jill, you know what to do whenever someone gets something new to wear,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Jill steps up to the front of the class and begins strutting up and down, showing off her new sweater as the kids begin to chant.
Okay, ready?
New sweater, Jill's got a new sweater!
Other kids always got new clothes. We always had the hand-me-downs.
But that didn't stop me from getting on the runway.
Sister 3 grabs a pair of old shoes and begins thoroughly shining them and putting them on and stepping into her class, walking slowly enough so that the teacher would take notice.
Oh my, well shut my eyes wide open. Look, boys and girls, Hopi's got new shoes. Go on, Hopi, show off those new shoes. Ready?
New shoes, Hopi's got new shoes!
Your shoes are real gas, Hobie.
Thanks, I know.
Will your parents let us have a sleepover at your place tonight?
Sure. Everybody wanted to spend the night at our house because it was always so much fun.
Wow, that's so neat.
What?
Your curtains match Hobie's blouse.
The sisters stop suddenly and look to Sister 3.
Oh, yeah, my mom likes for us to match.
Oh, please tell me where you shop. I just gotta tell my mom.
The fabric came from a big old sack of flour.
Remember the Alisal movie theater?
And what they would charge for admission?
3 7-Up bottle caps.
I got my 3.
I found a whole bunch.
Oh, can I have one?
Hey, there's a double feature playing at the Alisal.
Let's go.
The rest do the same and march to the Alisal movie theater, handing in 3 bottle caps each and taking a seat. As they watch Jailhouse Rock, the sisters dance in the aisles along with the film. Next, they watch Cowboys vs. Indians sequence from The Searchers with John Wayne. As the sequence runs, they get up and cheer for the Cowboys.
That's right. Make those engines run. Teach them not to mess with the best.
Transition slides of Union Army crimes against Native Americans. The sisters freeze. Sister 2 interrupts the time sequence.
Looking back at those times, I can't help but feel guilty because I would root for the Cowboys without really ever realizing that, well, our mom era indígena.
Dad was too.
Indios Mexicanos.
So I guess that makes us all indígena, right?
That was something we didn't understand at first.
Sister 1 and 3 exit.
At least not until I took a class in Native American Studies at Harnell Community College, where I got to read books for the first time on their history, my history. That changed my whole perspective. It changed me. I hope I don't offend anyone when I say this, but I don't root for Cowboys anymore. Thank you.
Act 1, Scene 10. Patrick Askew, 1959, Atlantic Street, Alisal, California. A young Patrick Askew enters confidently with a rifle on his shoulder.
Hey there, Miss Johansson. Mrs. Tate. Afternoon, Mr. Maywell.
Enters wiping down the rifle while his friend makes his entrance, as Patrick is packing his things for an overnight camping trip.
Hey, man, you ready?
Hold up.
Hurry, sun's about to go down. Don't forget to take your rifle, Pat.
Got it. Let's go.
They begin to trek out with his rifle over his shoulder. They arrive at their destination and set up camp and light a fire. They settle into their sleeping bags and begin telling scary stories. A man makes an entrance with his broken down automobile, old Ogie field worker.
Who wants to hear a scary story?
I do.
Yeah. All right, well, it was a night like this when an old man was driving down an old stage road, just getting out for the working fields, when suddenly his car broke down.
Crap.
Oh, I don't like this story. He got out of his car to check what was wrong when he heard a sound off in the distance. Okay, go to sleep now.
No, keep going.
It sounded like whispers. I'm sleeping now. He called out.
Who goes there?
He pulls out his flashlight to see what was there.
Old man turns his flashlight on, flashes it.
But then it goes out.
The old man's flashlight goes out.
The whispers kept getting louder and louder, but he couldn't see where they were coming from. The man yelled out to them.
If you don't show yourself, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. I swear.
Suddenly, the man felt these sharp pains in his head.
Ah!
The closer the whispers got, the sharper the pain in his head.
Ah!
The whispers were so painful they felt like knives stabbing him right into both ears.
No!
Petey gets up and stops the story in progress.
Okay, stop the story about me, please.
Gotcha.
That wasn't funny.
Wow, did that really happen?
No, there ain't no such thing. Oh, don't worry. There ain't gonna be no whispering knives to come out and get you. Freaking chicken.
Shut up.
Bobby keeps laughing at Petey's expense until suddenly,
Shut up.
the friends all get quiet all of a sudden.
What was that?
That was Bobby. It's not funny anymore, Bobby.
That wasn't me.
Quit messing, Bobby.
I swear, it's getting really late. I think we should go to sleep. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Transitions into daytime. They're slowly getting up.
Oh, so scared, crapping my pants.
Morning, boys. Hey, what's today? Friday.
They all jump up with excitement.
You know what that means?
Fish fry!
They run to the corner fish fry. As Pat and his friends start eating their fish fry,
Well, I can't wait to get to Alisal High. I'm joining the football team.
Bet you I can make junior varsity my first year.
You'll be lucky if you make lightweight reserves. Hey, what time is it?
Oh, shoot, it's almost time.
Hurry, I don't want to miss the beginning.
Pat starts changing the channel and the rest get in front of the TV.
All right, Channel 8, Channel 46, Channel 11.
Suppose we go where no man has gone before.
Hey, change it. Bonanza's on.
Patrick gets up to change the channel and returns back to his same spot.
Good evening. For parts of North America, the sun went out today.
Pat and his friends get up and head back outside as a reaction to the news.
Boring.
Let's play slow-mo ball.
Yeah.
Kids running a football play in slow motion, getting sacked.
Hey, do you hear about all the different kinds of classes you can take at Alisal High?
No.
Like what?
Special television production classes with these machines they call tape recorders this big.
Oh yeah, I heard those machines cost like $2,000.
And they'll teach us how to operate them?
Oh yeah, that and all kinds of other classes.
Like what?
Like German,
Dankeschön.
aviation.
All right, class, demonstrate a precautionary landing.
Where do we land?
The landis field. The landis field.
The landing field! And of course, band.
The three form a marching band.
Louis. Oh.
Alisal's the best.
It's like they got something to teach for anybody who wants to learn.
My dad says that's because all the tax money our parents pay.
Wow, could you imagine if they stopped paying all their taxes?
What would happen then?
Prop 13, 1978, youth report. The teacher, Petey and Bobby exit off stage. Gunshot. Act 1, scene 11.
Welcome to Del Rey Beauty Salon, a business I've been running here in the Alisal since 1964. And when I first moved here, there was a bar next door and a bar next door to that. And on the corner, there was a bar over there too. And I'll tell you, they weren't playing band music. A different time back then.
Enter a drunk stepping out of the bar onto the sidewalk, trying to get the attention of Miss Higgins and Rasta.
Hey, I'm talking to you. See this line right here? You cross this line, Mason-Dixon line, cross it, and you're gonna have a world of trouble.
Him and his buddy laugh and go back into the bar.
You remember that, John?
Shoot. One time when I was walking home from Southside Junior High, I passed one of these places. This guy comes up to me and he goes, "Boo! Boo!" Try to scare me, right? Telling me,
You dirty little
John.
The drunk freezes.
sorry.
And
what?
what did you do, John?
Oh, I ran up to him and said,
Kicking drunk in the growing area.
"Bam!"
Lands a punch on him.
And then, boom!
Drunk falls to the floor, gets up and exits.
When did this happen again?
Oh, a long time ago, Ma. It's all good though, they were just partying.
Well, I had a different approach. I worked at the PDA of Sherwood School. We organized one of the first Cinco de Mayo celebrations. And when they put the Mexican flag up, folks just came apart.
No!
It was okay though, because there was nothing to be fearful of.
I remember a lot of marching.
And you know what some people would say about those activities? That those who were undocumented would jump into the marches and parades, and they would somehow get them their papers.
Well, I'll be.
I never seen so many.
Bet you they're all going down to get their green cards.
Really?
Well, why else would they be marching, huh?
I don't know how, but that's what some people were saying. A lot of good came out of it, though. Like the Community Housing Improvement System of Planning Association created a lot of jobs and provided housing. Eventually, somebody in charge of that organization took some money.
Who, Mom?
I'm not at liberty to say, John. Don't you have a story to share with these fine people?
Well, one of the biggest memories for me or for anyone in the East Side has got to be cruising. Cruising on Sunday nights. Can't say I remember when it actually started, but it was like one day I just walked out the door and there it was, a car show.
Still images of the Crusaders, the new arrivals.
And that was like, wow, man.
For you,
Music abruptly stops.
the rest of us found it hard to appreciate such a custom, especially when it jammed up Alisal Street to the point where it would feel like hours trying to get past all the traffic.
Oh, but it was fun though, Mom.
And that fun became dangerous after a while.
They shut it down.
Make no mistake, there have been improvement though, because back then, being a business owner and resident here in the Alisal, you didn't get much representation.
Nobody was really looking out for the East Side back then.
Not until 1988 when they started district elections. Instead of overall voting, there was representation for districts, and that was when, what's his name? Jesse Sanchez.
Photo of Jesse G. Sanchez.
He used to come to our NAACP meetings and talk to us about redistricting. And I thought that was a great idea, so I decided to run. I knew I wouldn't get it, but at least I was giving some competition.
That was hard work for her too.
I was proud for my attempt to run for our East Side District and do my best to change the way this community has been perceived to.
Like over there,
Or that it's exclusive to.
gang activity.
Because if you're to change things around here, I don't know if more police officers will help. Participation will low. And you can't expect anything to change unless you participate.
Yes, sir.
Act 1, Scene 12.
Did you say that you're going to have a movie here?
Every Saturday and Sunday. You find everything you needed there.
Enter Pulga workforce. Noel sees his brother working and then suddenly gets caught up with one of the roles of vendors, parking attendants, directing traffic.
Naranjas, 5 por $1. Naranjas.
Jugos, aguas frescas.
Ropa de niños, ropa de niñas.
Ropa de viejos, ropa de viejas.
And that night,
Act 1, Scene 13. Skyview homies assemble in the Skyview drive-in parking lot. One of them is coming out of a trunk.
hey, home, hey, movie's about to start.
Hey, vato, I've been thinking.
You've been thinking, ese.
Yeah, man,
Sorry to hear that, eh?
I'm serious, Holmes.
Hey, I got something that'll take care of those thoughts, eh?
Hey, no, in serio, Holmes. I hear they're gonna start shutting down some of the fábricas around here.
Okay, now,
Everybody shut up! I'm Rocky.
This is a preview, but the movie ain't even
you
out.
were Rocky last week.
Charlie, I'm still Rocky. Come on, check me out.
The theme song comes on, and as they're drinking, they start mimicking the film during the workout sequence, matching Rocky through every bit from the scene while pounding beers at the same time. Come on, Rocky!
Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
Yo, Adrian!
We did it!
You never watch a movie in Skyview.
Act 1, Scene 14.
Hey, what up? I'm looking for some friends of mine. Said they wanted to get my story, memories of growing up and stuff like that. It might be a little inappropriate to share with this audience. Alright, check it out. There used to be a Wendy's where the Jalisciense is at now. Just knowing a corporate fast food restaurant was taken over by Mexicans says a lot about the demographic flow of the East Side. Still, when it used to be Wendy's, man, I had a friend, dude, Big Frank. He got hired there, and just let me tell you.
Frank appears to his first day at work.
Try this on.
She waits for him to try it on.
Does it fit?
No.
Alright, how about this one? Here, try this on.
This is a manager's shirt.
Yeah, well, that's all we got.
All right.
So, of course, He was the token manager. And on his first day on the job, he...
Robert 1 steps into the Wendy's, throws a ski mask on.
What's up, big boy?
Aw, come on.
You know what you gotta do, eh? Hurry, fool, hurry.
Frank fills it with whatever he can get from the register.
And I'll take a bacon double cheeseburger, 2 homes.
Man,
Frank grabs him a burger and hands it over. The robber takes off.
What happened?
I got jacked.
Oh, guess he must have thought you were the manager.
All right. And then the next day, the very next day,
Robber number 2 enters, throws his ski mask on.
¿Qué onda, vato?
Aw, come on, man.
Wait, apúrale.
Frank fills it.
Y deme un stuffed baked potato.
Frank just hands him over without saying anything. Robber number 2 takes it and runs. As a kid, JP enters the store.
day after that, I went and hit up Frank. I said, what, are you gonna stay working here, company man?
Hell no.
Come on, fool, let's go check out the DJ spinning the jams over at La Paz Park.
All right.
Well, that's it. Anyways, I guess the story about my friend getting robbed at work shouldn't be used for an East Side Stories project, but that shit was funny anyway.
End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Where are we going?
let's take in a little cruise.
You know, even though we're not doing anything wrong, I can't help but feel like a suspect driving around with you guys.
It's because you suffer from post-traumatic profiling disorder.
Check it out, Chinatown. A lot of history here, y'all.
Imagine if these walls could talk.
Wasn't this the second biggest Chinatown next to San Fran?
Sheep,
What did you say?
sheep,
Sheep or seed?
sheep, as in yes in Mandarin.
She means yes in Mandarin?
What's Mandarin?
It's a language spoken in China.
I thought they spoke Chinese in China.
China's a country, not a language.
Oh, I get it. Like America, where a lot of languages are spoken.
Yeah, like Triguis,
Mixtec?
Zapotec.
and those are all Oaxaqueño languages.
You mean they don't speak Oaxacan in Oaxaca?
Are you mad?
So, what are we doing in Chinatown?
Not really the east side, but it does lie on the east side of the tracks.
Oh, I heard Miss Camel from the Alisal used to run a restaurant around here.
Who's that?
Well, a well-respected African-American woman, a business owner, who owned a place called the Swing Time. And get this, Ike and Tina Turner played here.
Yeah?
Well, when they play Big Wheel, Keep On Turning.
Proud Mary, keep on burning.
Rolling,
rolling,
rolling on the river. Get up, do, 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 do.
Distracted while driving.
Hey, watch out!
Oh shit!
They come to a complete stop.
Oh, sorry y'all. Everybody cool?
Kinda not.
Just medio traumatized.
Oh, sorry guys. What happened again? Got distracted.
Who taught you how to drive?
Deal.
Who talking to him?
Transition. Act 2, Scene 2.
When I got here, I was apolitical. It was 1968 and I didn't speak Spanish very well and...
Ah, señor Espinosa, ¿cómo está usted?
Oh, pues, it was hard at first, but I eventually got better. Bien, señor, gracias, ¿y usted?
Pues ahí la llevamos, señor Espinosa, trabajando duro como puros. Pero todo para qué, llegan estos jóvenes a dónde deben de llegar, ¿verdad?
Y por eso estamos aquí, señor.
Y de saber eso, nos hace sentir vete bien, maestro.
Pues muy agradecido, gracias. I knew I was Mexican, 6th generation, Denver, Colorado Mexican. But I didn't really know much about the cultura until I was already teaching at Alisal High. And I was at a faculty meeting where, out of nowhere, these students come busting in. One of them, by the name of Philip Taveira, who today just so happens to be sitting on the school board. And another guy you might remember by the name of Jesse Sanchez. And they came in and...
We demand that you listen to us.
And I said, why, you little... What do you mean you demand? Have some respect for your...
This is our school and our parents pay taxes.
But you insist on treating them
Like they're from another planet.
We need Spanish-speaking people in the front of the office.
Spanish-speaking counselors.
Spanish-speaking administrators.
And some Spanish-speaking teachers. And by the way, the food in the cafeteria is disgusting.
We were raised on beans.
And tortillas.
Not cold mashed potatoes.
And rubber meat.
Can't even swallow that stuff.
They had this whole list pretty well organized, and one of the demands was...
A Chicano history class.
At the time, I didn't like history because, well, the teachers I had didn't like history. Still, when the principal of the school called me into his office, Principal Kearney, he said,
Mr. Espinosa, we would like you to teach Mexican American history.
I don't like history. I don't know anything about it.
But you're Mexican living in America.
And I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, do me a favor. I made arrangements with the instructor of a Chicano history class, and I want you to pay them a visit. Take a day or two to go and see what they have to offer.
You mean a day off from school?
Yes.
Sounds good. Where are you sending me to? San Jose State, UC Santa Cruz?
No, Soledad State Prison.
The principal exits and Mr. Espinosa looks around the prison walls.
So there I was, sent to the state correctional facility to learn more about us. I tried sitting in the back and hoping that nobody would notice me when suddenly all these pintos come out walking in with their tattoos and their tattoos. And then the teacher comes and he's like,
All right, settle down. We got a special guest who came to sit in on our class. Mr. Espinosa, can you introduce yourself, please, and tell these people what you told me on the phone?
Hi, my name is Terry Espinosa, and, well, I'm a teacher at Alisal High School.
Orale, I used to go there.
All right, alumni. Orale.
Tell them what you told me.
Well, I don't know Mexican history.
What? You mean you don't know about Benito Juarez?
Who?
Indio Zapoteco from Oaxaca became the greatest president of Mexico.
From where?
How about Cuauhtemoc, Aztec ruler of Tenochtitlan, rose up against the Spanish colonizers? He was captured and burned at the feet because he would have hooked them up with the gold, that's it.
He does the over-the-head gesture.
Okay, well, you gotta know about Doroteo Arango. Pancho Villa, Holmes.
Pancho Villa, wasn't he a communist?
The voices continue but fade into silence as the inmates exit.
I think you got some studying to do.
I would never have expected to feel the true power of history walking into that prison that day. And thanks to those brothers, I returned to Alisal High with a different perspective. I also noticed the pride beginning to blossom amongst young Raza students. Learning more about my cultura became important. Why, I remember this one time. I pulled out this great big Life magazine coffee table book on Mexico, right? And I opened it to the pyramids of Teotihuacan. And I was like, there are pyramids in Mexico?
Mr. Espinosa.
OG educators.
I've given a lot.
They all have.
All the neighborhood fathers.
And the neighborhood mothers.
Our neighborhood hermanos.
And barrio veteranos.
They're figuring it out as they went along.
And when it came out of the east side,
It came strong.
Act 2, Scene 3.
What's this?
It's our request.
To hold our very first Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Here on the campus of Alisal High.
Are you kidding me? This is not acceptable.
We did exactly what we were told.
Well, we know English is a second language to you guys, but there are a couple of T's to be crossed and some I's to be dotted.
Philip and Jesse get the paperwork back from the ASB officers and begin making corrections.
I learned with that experience how important the paperwork had to be in order.
They finish it and hand it back in.
Here.
Okay, I guess.
Orale.
But you only got 15 minutes.
What?
Take it or leave it.
All right, we'll take it.
For now.
It was our first Cinco de Mayo celebration at Alisal High School. We ate Mexican food, played Mexican music, and had a Mexican-American Chicano speaker. The next year we got 30 minutes, and the year after that we got a full lunch hour.
Enter Manuel Olivas.
It was 1970, the year of the UFW came in Salinas, and the Mayo Club turned me on to some very influential mentors, like this investigator for the California Rural Legal Assistance Agency, Manuel Olivas. Manuel had already been working with attorney Mo Maurice Jourdain at the time. One of his assignments he gave me because I was 15 and I had a car was
drive over these roads and take pictures of the workers in the fields.
Philip steps into his car and takes pictures while addressing the audience.
I didn't know what it was for, and I didn't know what it was about until...
Your Honor, I would like to present these photographs as evidence of the use of shorthand code in violation of the injunctions issued by the court.
I had other priorities formulating that year as well, like cruising. We would cruise market and the fruit stand on Madera. Gloucester Park was our Saturday night gig, but one Saturday, as I was getting my ride ready, I get a call from Manuel.
I need you to come over to my office right now.
I'm getting ready to go out, man.
Well, we need you here and now.
Man, so I came over to the office in Cayuga, right across the street from the city jail.
Come in and sit right down here.
I'm in this meeting room, a Victorian house with a big, giant sliding doors. I see a station wagon drive up, and I see this dude who wore black glasses and a brown coat, a really heavy vato with a mean-looking police dog.
Images of the Great Salinas Lettuce Battle of 1970.
And there were some other older guys, like in their 30s or 40s with them too, and I'm just like all unaware of what's going on. I look up at the door and it opens like this really slow, right? And all these dudes come out walking with these rolls of paper, big long rolls, like I'm like, what the hell? And I see this big tall dude, I see a dog and a crowd of men. Men was one of the greatest grassroots organizers in the US, Marshall Gans. On the other side of him was the United Farm Workers co-founder and vice president, Dolores Huerta. And right next to her was UFW president, Cesar Chavez. What I got to see, I will never forget it. They were planning to march into Salinas. They were getting ready for the big lettuce battle that was about to take place.
Philip.
Huh?
Come here. I wanted to introduce you to someone. Cesar, this is one of the kids I was telling you about.
Felix shakes hands with an imaginary Cesar Chavez.
Dolores, this is Felipe Tavera.
Hola, señora Huerta. Right then and there, from that moment on, whatever they wanted, whatever they needed, I was going to do it. And I mean, not just me. So many others were taking a stand and making the commitment to the farm worker movement. People came from all over the state of California, all over the country, gathering. The first office, it all started first at the office by Sherwood School then, more started, and then coming in when they took over the Hartnell College to hear him speak a simple message of coming together. It was cool. It was like, man. But there was also a lot of folks who thought otherwise. The Teamsters brought in their goons of patrol to patrol the east side. The growers filed an injunction of their own to stop the strike. But when Cesar Chavez got locked up in the Salinas City jail, it brought even more attention to the cause. There were folks outside the jail and on the sidewalk marching, and an altar where prayers were given in support. I got to meet two of Cesar's visitors, Miss Ethel Kennedy, widow of Bobby Kennedy, and Miss Coretta Scott King, the widow of Martin Luther King. For our biggest Cinco de Mayo parade, students from every high school, Latino club in the area came out to work. We had up to 5,000 people on both sides of Market Street. 4 to 5 people deep watching the parade. We had marching bands and politicians. Get this, the head of the CIA, Leon Panetta, was the Grand Marshal. We had the Cinco de Mayo queens all riding together in bull riding, provided by the car clubs, like the Crusaders. The whole event would culminate at the expo with over 10,000 people in attendance. The funds were raised to keep the CEP Center open, the Cultural Enrichment Program. We ran programs in visual arts, music, photography, and dance. It was always community-oriented. My homeboy, David Nunez, was a big help in all of that. You heard of him, right? David Nunez, ever heard of Lowrider magazine?
Act 2, Scene 4. Photographs of some plastic ramplas. Enter David Nunez with a camera.
I tell you, Holmes, these ramplas, pero puro.
And your photographs are pretty chingon too, Asa. En serio, bro, the world should recognize such beauty.
Well, a part of an operation that makes things happen, Holmes.
What's that?
This.
He pulls out a copy of Lowrider magazine.
Lowrider magazine?
Yup.
Who's working on this?
A team of some top-notch professional, bro. Mika,
Yeah, Dad?
you almost done with that first stack?
Almost.
Thanks, Mika. Daddy loves you.
Love you too, Dad.
Ciao, neighbor.
That's all.
Hey, so what's up with the Cinco de Mayo parade?
It's gonna be the biggest ever, carnal.
Still gotta meet up with all the chicas, though.
That's right, we can't have no pelo go down.
Shoot, could you imagine? Grasa fighting grasa on Cinco de Mayo?
Can't afford that.
But we can't afford to throw them a little powwow barbacoa, you know?
Feed them some carne asada, serve them some chelas.
Should get them to relax a little bit. But we can't do it here at the center.
Nope, it's too hot around here. More like somewhere up on the north side.
Off the radar?
You know it.
Homeboys started arriving, checking in with their weapons. David holds a receipt book and a tie tag collecting all their cuetes, knives and brass knuckles into a box.
Look, this is what we're doing. We're gonna be doing. We want all of y'all, we want to do it with all y'all's cooperation. The cops are gonna be doing their best to shut us down. They're already charging us for chingadera y media. But people from all over the country are gonna come here. So we're gonna need you all to back us up.
¿Qué quieren de nosotros ese?
A truce.
For how long, Holmes?
From Thursday night at 12 o'clock till Monday at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Homeboys take a moment, they look to each other like a stare down. Then they break.
Okay. For you, vato, solamente.
Because we know what you do.
Homeboys 1 and 2 exit while David starts taking photos during the event.
We had about a 2.5 mile long line of lowriders from all over right here in the east side. And for those Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, all the hotels, and Holiday Inns were booked. Gas stations and restaurants reported record profits, and not a single incident, not one. No fights, no pelo, no nothing. At least, not until 2 o'clock on Monday morning when you heard. The city eventually started coming to shut us down. The center shut down and the cultural events on the east side started taking a more regulated route since. But we all kept doing our thing. Oh, and Lowrider magazine, well, it kind of got a little complicated. It turned into something else, but it was all good. I still remember a lot of fun though. Took a lot of pictures and met a lot of famous folks too. Como el super bad James Brown, El Chicano, Rosie and the Originals, Bretton Wood, War, Tierra, Yee, Midnighters. Oh man, the list goes on and on. And it was fun, lowrider too, con tu familia. Real peaceful, until...
What you claim, I said?
What?
I said, what you claim?
Nothing, man, I'm just...
Where you from?
Salinas.
What, they don't got this shit up here?
Nah, brother.
Mark my words, Holmes, in 10 years. 10 years and it's gonna be in your backyard.
That was the late 70s.
Act 2, Scene 5.
So that's how they got down in the 70s?
And David Nunez's contribution was more than we'll ever imagine.
Damn, that's crazy.
Homeboy was in the mix.
Community came first.
Before material profits.
His mission was never for recognition.
Gotta keep his legacy alive.
Lives in our hearts and our minds.
And celebrate the contribution made.
But when the folks look back at that day,
Some are real quick to say that
Everything changed.
after Cesar Chavez helped rein in
A
us.
self-determined raza.
Then the good number white folk.
Felt they had to pack up and leave.
llegaron los 80s.
And
then came the greed.
Pásale, greed.
Come on in.
See, making stuff in this country
Used to be
our job.
That turned into retail.
And semi-skilled service.
Pero cuando votaron la gente,
Controllers got nervous.
Voters adopt district elections.
Setting us up.
For a whole new direction.
that was far from an end.
Because what was about to begin?
Rompió the community.
The political got personal.
Making some forget about
Democracy.
Brought up a lot of drama.
Over what had begun.
By the time the 90s came,
Violence began to claim the young.
Act 2, Scene 6.
Hey, catch your sin!
Go for it!
Hey, tráeme the pose.
Jose looking around showing fear of the bully.
No.
What'd you say? I'm talking to you, bitch!
The ball gets tossed to Jose. Bully goes way out of his way to stick Jose extremely hard. He falls to the ground.
Stay down, puto! Stay down!
He gets back down to Jose grabbing a chunk of dirt and sticks it in his face while the others stand around and watch.
Huh? You like that, eh, you little?
Jose, struggling to keep his face away from the dirt, frees his left arm and socks the bully right off of him.
Damn!
Jose jumps all over the bully.
Kick his ass, Jose! Kick it! Oh, hey, somebody's coming, Jose, somebody's coming!
The friend grabs Jose and runs. The bully exits off in the opposite direction. The bully is holding the blood coming from his nose.
Let's go! Man, you messed him up good. Got blood all over your shirt. Your parents gonna get mad?
I don't know.
Oh, hey, it's your dad.
José, José, ven para acá. ¿Dónde andabas?
¿En el parque?
¿Y qué andabas haciendo?
Nada, jugando nomás.
No me eches mentiras.
Él lo empezó.
¿Y qué? ¿Le partiste a la madre, verdad?
Miguel, ¿qué le pasó a José?
Nada. Anda bien. A ver, ¿quieres pelear?
Jose shrugs his shoulder. His dad starts to lead him out.
¿A dónde van?
No se preocupe.
Ay, Miguel.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Quería meter a mi hija a boxear. Ponte trucha, José. No te dejes.
Okay.
What's your name, kid?
Jose?
Alright, Jose, put these gloves on and get in there. See what you got. Gerardo,
Gerardo nods as if to say what up.
get in there with Jose.
The two step into the ring and begin sparring.
Okay, jab with the left, with the left.
They go at it a little bit more and Jose gets a real good punch in.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yo, you okay, Gerardo?
I'm cool.
Pretty good, Jose. Looks like you got something to work with.
The trainer and Gerardo exit.
That day was April 26, 1992. I was 10 years old, and from that day on, I was hooked.
A friend walks up to Jose high off of paint.
Hey, Jose, where you going from?
Red Box Gym?
You're boxing now?
Yeah?
Oh, you think you're all bad?
No.
Too good for us or what?
How stupid.
Let's see if you're still, let's see if you're still down. Hit this.
He hands him a paint bag to sniff into.
Nah, it's cool.
Don't be a fan.
I ain't no fun.
Take it then.
Jose gives him a look, takes the bag, and sniffs right into it.
Yeah, dude, take a drag.
They pass him a joint. Jose takes a puff.
Feels good, huh?
No.
The homeboys exit as if they're fading away.
Boxing felt good, and the ring was where I needed to be.
Gerardo enters.
Hey, you ready?
Hey, Hera, Simon.
They start sparring. Hera gets Jose back, connecting a punch.
No que no, homie.
Jose puts his head down, appears to be in pain.
Oh, Jose. Jose, oh man, are you okay?
Gerardo, he was a year and a half older than me.
This dude.
I'm cool, hey, keep going.
Nah, I gotta bounce. Sorry about that, eh?
That's cool.
They handshake.
Later.
Later. Gerardo Pañuelos was my friend. I looked up to him. He was good, and he was fast, and he was gang related. I was training here at the bread box when it happened. Should have been working out with me. Right? Should have been gone go pro.
And in this corner, coming in from the east side of Salinas, California, one-time alternate for the 2000 United States Olympic boxing team with 37 professional fights, 31-6 with 16 knockouts, Jose the Cuate Celaya. Act 2, Scene 7. Imelda, little Isaac, and the homegirls enter with a shopping cart.
Hey, Isaac, get in.
No, Isaac, don't listen to them.
Why?
It'll be fun. No, it won't, guys.
Okay.
Homegirls help Isaac into the shopping cart.
Okay, you ready?
Isaac, don't.
Yeah!
I mean it. He's gonna get hurt.
I won't.
What was that?
Yeah!
Gonna get in trouble,
I
guys.
can't hear you.
Yeah!
The homegirls push him off stage out of sight from the audience.
Isaac!
Isaac crashes a shopping cart into the icicle plants.
Oh, dang!
Imelda and the homegirls chase after Isaac.
He was okay. He crashed right in the icicle plants. But you know what's funny though? We put those icicle plants to real good use.
Act 2, Scene 8. Homegirls 1 and 2 throwing icicle plants at the second-story window.
Imelda!
Imelda! What?
What are you doing?
Nothing. What are you guys doing?
I got a new oldies tape.
Come over.
Okay. Imelda throws her backpack over and jumps out herself. Imelda lands on her feet into a routine with her homegirls as of dancing in front of a mirror, trying till the song ends and the homegirls take a trip to the one-stop corner store. Enter Steve, Chinese immigrant and martial arts master from behind the counter as the homies grab snacks to purchase.
What's up, Steve?
Nobody trying to jack you, Steve?
Hell nah, no mess with Steve, huh?
No comment.
Homegirls burst into laughter.
Well, what you gonna do, Steve?
She tries to throw a punch to see if Steve flinches, but he doesn't.
Dang, Steve.
Bravo, Steve. Don't mess around.
The homegirls laugh as they leave one stop and back into a Costa Plaza. Enter partygoers crowding up in front of a doorway.
Hey, it looks like something's going on here.
Oh yeah, party over here.
What?
Act 2, Scene 9. Imelda notices homegirl 2 looks of disappointment.
Hey, mija, check it out. Vinieron los homies and they brought beer.
Dad, why?
What? Just having a little fun.
On a Tuesday?
A partygoer busts out with a Polaroid camera.
Hey, picture time!
Come on, get in.
Where you going?
Nowhere, leave me alone.
One partygoer follows her out as another one of the partygoers whispers into the dad's ear.
Come on, mija, don't be like your mom. Oh, yeah? I bet, here, mijo. Then, take my beer. I'll be right back.
As the dad follows the homie to the back, he hands a beer over to one of the younger partygoers. And Imelda takes note of what's happening around her and exits.
Something made us think that we're having fun. I know Isaac was.
Act 2, Scene 10. Isaac re-enters as a teenager.
I remember everyone would hang out there. It was straight up like a safe haven for all these different families from all these different hoods. You had a problem? Folks would back you up. They'd even let you hide out in their own place.
¿Qué haces aquí, muchacho?
Escóndeme ya, señora.
Quítate de aquí.
Oh, dang. Listo, vamos allá.
Por aquí, mijo, córrele.
Where?
Ahí, métete.
Oh, whoa!
Police light swipes across the stage. He peeks his head out to make sure the coast is clear.
Ya se fueron.
Gracias, señora.
Pero ya es la última vez que te voy a dejar que te escondes aquí. ¿O me oyes?
Okay, señora, okay.
¿Me oyes?
Yeah, hey. I mean, sí, señora.
Ándale pues, vete con cuidado y dile a esos mendigos que ya baje a ese ridajo.
Hey, turn it down!
As the party continues, Senora Torres and her neighborhood watch crew enter with jackets and walkie-talkies, catching the attention of the homies.
9:15, come in. 9:15. This is 9:12. There's a party going on. Looks suspicious.
Hey, neighborhood watch lady. Hey, what's up? You want a party?
You know the rule about open containers.
Man, you guys are always tripping.
Hey, let me talk to her. Hey, neighborhood watch lady. Excuse me, neighborhood watch lady. Dispensa, neighborhood watch lady. But this ain't alcohol, eh? Hell no, this here's fertilizante, yo.
Hey, vato, I paid for that 40 homes.
Put it away, bro, or else she ain't gonna kick down with the cookies and tea, huh? You gonna invite her for cookies and tea?
You're more than welcome to join us.
Whatever.
We wouldn't even be doing anything, primo. At least not there. At that moment. In front of everyone. But they were always trying to roll up all hard on us, telling us to
Take it inside.
say things like,
You don't want any problems.
and we were always like, neither do we.
Act 2, Scene 11. 1995 Everett Alvarez boundaries.
Welcome, residents.
Members of the community.
We want to begin tonight's meeting
By addressing the boundaries that will be established
Determine from which areas
our students will be coming from.
to attend Everett Alvarez High School.
Why is the Coastal Plaza not drawn into your district?
Come again.
See this line? See how it comes all the way down Sanborn and then turns right on Gardner and then around the back of the Coastal Plaza?
And your point is?
Who decided that this was how the district was going to be mapped out?
No one responds.
We're
Going to go ahead and
Table this issue.
for our next
meeting.
Act 2, Scene 12.
By determining the district boundaries without public say or knowledge, you are dividing a qualified area to favor one group over another. Do you know what that's called? Anybody? Gerrymandering. That's right. It is unconstitutional, illegal, and unfortunately for you, it's... Can you guess what I'm about to say? Starts with an R. Anybody? Exactly.
Act 2, Scene 13.
The Alisal. Oh yeah, pretty much grew up here. Been around since 1946, 1947 working in the fields. Served my country in the Korean War and surviving through some really tough times, like having to go to sleep hungry and making it through. Not for me. No, never for me, but for my familia. My reason for living. Me and my wife, Rosela, raised 7 children. 3 girls, 4 boys. All Alisal High graduates. And you know, I've made it a point to be with them ever since my first child started going there. That's been 33 years now. They're all graduated, but you will still find me there. Right there con los estudiantes, in the house of thrills. That's where I'll be. Like an anclaje, like an anchor at all the basketball games, doing my best to help them do their best. Serious. Through all the good and through all the good and through all the bad.
UC Berkeley graduation ceremony. Gilbert Jr. appears in cap and gown. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the University of California graduating class of 1995. Gilbert holds cap in the air. Mr. Medina approaches his son.
This is for me and your mother, Mijo.
Oh wow, gracias, Pop.
Gilbert Jr. hugs the both of them.
We were so proud of our son, we bought him a brand new car. Nothing fancy, but something that he can get around. Last weekend of July, Gilbert and his girlfriend came to visit us. It was Friday, July 28th when he brought her over. We had a great time. Rosela made her enchiladas. The next day they were in Monterrey for his job. He had to do a videotape of a delegation of Russians. That's what he did. Later on, he calls to tell me,
Hey, Dad, we're going up to Bodega Bay.
you ever been there? Up in Northern California? Well, I'll never go there because on Sunday, July 30th, my wife and I were at home when I see through the window of my living room the police car drive up and park. I was a little thrown off by that. I thought that's strange, but you know, whatever. Then suddenly I hear a knock at the door.
Police officer enters, knocks on the door. Mr. Medina crosses to the door and answers it.
Hello?
Are you Mr. Medina?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I have bad news, sir. It's your son.
Yes?
Your son Gilbert has drowned. I'm sorry, Mr. Medina.
That was the worst day of my life. For the next 2 years, I wouldn't leave my home. I quit working. I shut down. I was angry at God. Why? Why would he take my son? Why couldn't he have taken me? Where we live, there's a canal right behind our home. The only time I ever went out was for these ducks that always gathered out there, waiting for me to feed them. And one night I had this dream, like it was really happening. I'm stepping out of my home and walking out by the canal, and I remember seeing right there my son's old car. And in it was Gilbert.
Gilbert sees his father, smiles, opens his door, and steps out of the car and begins to walk towards him.
Gilbert!
Hey, Dad.
What are you doing here, Mijo?
What do you mean, Dad? Don't you know? They only let the good guys in here.
They hug.
You gotta let me go, Dad. Please.
I love you, Mijo.
I love you too, Dad.
Gilbert exits.
Something happened to me that night. That dream changed me. The next morning, I got up and I went to Alisal High School. That was where all my children graduated from. Something told me to go there and speak, tell my story, and that's what I did. I told my story to 150 kids that day. I told them that just because you have something today doesn't mean you will always have that something. That is why it is important to tell your brothers and sisters, everyone in your family, that you love them. I also let them know that they had me beat. I didn't have the education they were getting, but none of that was going to mean anything if they were just smart. They had to be wise and use their wisdom, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, you know? I thank my son for helping me let go of that pain and share my wisdom with the young people of the Alisal. That's what I do and will continue to do for the rest of my days.
Act 2, Scene 14. What do y'all think?
There's a lot.
And then there's still a lot more.
A whole lot more that we're not addressing.
Like what?
Like all kinds of things.
Still don't know why.
All the factories shut down.
Nestles, shillings, firestones, sprinkles.
Why are there so many apartments in our neighborhood?
While the owners are all living outside of our community.
As far out as
The East Coast.
Control.
And say,
It's like ghosts.
Two Chicanos.
Angel Reese and Frank Alvarado.
two Salvadoreños.
Juan Hernandez and Carlos Mejia.
2016 Vice magazine called Salinas.
The
Youth homicide capital of California.
Why the East Side generates the most income.
And you got experts still trying to figure out that there's such a
Negative stigma.
Ignoring the beautiful struggle that
Nuestros vecinos.
young and old.
Go before and you get to know.
who they were.
Who
They
they are.
are.
La verdad es que no hay tiempo.
Para negar.
When we can be sharing.
Kids.
Wisdom.
Voice.
Lessons.
Simple questions too, huh?
How?
Why? When?
Where?
The east side.
That's where.
For us.
For everybody.
Todos los que contribuyeron.
And still contribute.
Now it's the only time we got.
To give some love.
Y respeto.
A todos de nuestros vecinos.
All our neighbors.
We're right next door.
And we want to say gracias. Thank you. Mary Ann Worden.
For standing for the safety and well-being of our community.
Jim York.
For being one of the first to bring groceries to this community.
Eliseo Felipe.
Filipino-American World War II veteran. Mike Rubio.
First punk rocker in the East Side.
The Coronado family.
For holding it down on Ragsdale, Dogpatch City.
The Lady Street Jammers.
All female breakdancers representing in the early 80s.
For all those Okies and Arkies still thriving and surviving on the East Side.
Those who've been taken away from us.
Way too early.
Rest in power.
Descansen en poder.
To all the youth,
Our peers.
our
Brothers.
sisters,
Nuestros padres.
y madres,
Daughters.
and sons.
Let's kick it sometime.
93905.
Alisal.
East Salinas.
Where we're from.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you guys want to chill. You guys, I mean, it's like pretty hot in here. Emily, what do you suggest?
Really quickly, I know you guys want to get up and breathe a little bit, but real quick, we can just introduce the actors, their names and their ages. Well, not all their ages, but names and maybe grades or your position with the team. So we'll start on this end. Go ahead.
My name is Andres Ortiz, and I'm one of the theater teachers, acting coaches, creative leaders,
Yeah, you don't have to tell your
I'm Margaret Espinosa, 14. I'm a sophomore at Alisal, and my role is the creative leader.
My name is Brian Rodriguez. I am 17 Alisal High, senior, and my role is the creative leader.
Senior sound. 16, my name is Elizabeth. I'm also our creative leader.
My name is Alexis Velasquez. I'm a junior at Alisal High and I'm a creative leader.
My name is Maria Espinosa. I'm a senior at Alisal and I'm a creative leader as well.
Jake Juarez, youthful spirit, creative follower.
Elizabeth Murillo, I'm a real creative leader.
Inside joke, inside joke.
To rephrase, there are creative leaders and creative mentors.
Just mega leaders.
Maybe I don't know if any questions that come up for you right now is they're still standing. We maybe field a few
Yeah,
questions.
maybe like
one or
2
two
or 3
or three.
questions anybody have for the actors?
Yeah.
How did you guys go about collecting these stories?
That was a process done back in 2000, started back in 2009, and there were 2 projects. You weren't here when we explained, but yeah, it was started with the first project, ReAlisal, Your Neighbor's Story, in 2000, and that was presented in 2011, and then ReAlisal Stories de Costa Plaza was presented in 2014. Documentary theater. We interviewed, for the first project, 40 residents, and of those 40, there were 14 stories that were put on stage. For the Costa Plaza project, there were about 20 residents that were interviewed, and about 9 of those stories were put on stage. So there's it's part of like a commitment that we have taken on to preserve these stories, to collect these stories, because we're fighting a narrative that has been out of our control and our reach for quite some time now. And what I mean by that is the story that's being told about us by other people who profit off of the negative portrayals through mainstream media. We now have the capacity and the talent to bring these stories to life and tell them on our terms. So, yeah.
Thank you. Is this going to stay a reading in the format of a reading, or are you going to turn it into a play? I like it as a reading a lot.
The plan is we're going to do a lot more, continue the series. There's just so many more stories that are just waiting to come out, and they range, they overlap. They come out of the east side, they come around the Natividad, they come around the west side, all sorts, all throughout the valley, the county. There's a quote from John Steinbeck right out here, and he says how he wants to tell a story. I mean, it's an inspiration for us, right? To tell the story of the valley of the world, right? So, are we gonna perform it?
That's what I meant, perform it like.
Yeah, it's a full-on stage production, but we gotta talk about it.
So, and also know that the part of your being here and this being presented today is part of that process. So right now it's a joining of 2 productions that have a lot of love and a lot of time that was taken into them, and now it's taking more love and more time to bring those 2 pieces together, and now collaborations between ourselves and with Boston 12. So this is part of that process to see what that looks like. We do, however, have another stage reading of this exact same show. However, it includes projections, and our sound will be a little bit crisper, and the venue will be a little bit bigger. So if you want to join us for that, we will be at the Alisal Center for Fine Arts next Saturday at 6 p.m. So please join us. Tell all your friends, tell your neighbors to come on over.
Same performers?
Yes, same performers. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you ever work with any younger students, or if you just do high school up? And are you considering doing something to memorialize Virginia Rockabart? Because her life is worth it.
In 2015, I got to do an interview with her, and you say that young people. So let me just get into explain that real quick. I got to interview Virginia Rockabart. She told her story about this a child of immigrants from Italy, you know, and it was a great story. The first female superintendent of a school district, just a trailblazer on all levels, and you know, rest in peace. She passed away about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I believe. And so there was, as a writer, I was really challenged because we took the whole, we have it all documented, and we staged a short play with Virginia Rocket Barton students. Jacob was there, and it's for the students of the School of Virginia Rocket Barton, which you know, you say if we can start doing these with the younger folks. Our dream is that there can be an annual play for each school about the namesake of that school, where we get to uncover the champions that are, you know, the students, the administrators, the actual name of the school, and really take advantage of that history, the local history, and how it's connected to the rest of the world. This woman, you know, there's so much knowledge came out of her, you know, and so yeah, it's gonna happen, you know. And so to answer your question, yes.
Well, thank you, and I just wanted to say what you're doing is super important. When you mentioned namesake, you're making me flashback on last summer. I taught kids from several of the Alisal schools that were going into 6th grade. Several of them were from Cesar Chavez School, and they didn't know who he was. They didn't know that he'd ever been in Salinas or anything. But they knew after I got there.
And they don't know the connection between Martin Luther King and Salinas, you know, or John Steinbeck or John C. Fremont, for that matter, you know, and Martin.
Jesse Sanchez.
Jesse Sanchez.
That was part of their first production.
Yeah, it's a big part. Yes. Yes, and we're at that grade. We are, especially now. We believe that that history of those stories. We need those without never, especially under this administration.
He's looking at me. Thank you all so very much for coming tonight. Please tell your friends, your family, your co-workers, all the people, and have them come next Saturday, 6 p.m. at the Alisal Center for Fine Arts. It's on North Sanborn. If you want more information, we have some flyers on your way out. Or if you want to leave us with your information, email, anything to know about future events, we have a sign-up sheet right there. So please feel free to leave it there.
There are flyers for a Hartnell College Chicano theater course being taught by Alfredo Avila this summer. So if you know anybody, this class will take care of fine arts and ethnic studies requirements for CSU and UCs. It'll be a great opportunity. That's where we started, and that's where we want to keep going.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.